Ben hated driving at night, but tonight he had no choice. The back roads near Black Hollow were the only way home after a last-minute work emergency. He'd heard stories about the road before, something about disappearances, but he dismissed them as urban legends. He didn't believe in ghosts. Yet as he turned onto the stretch of Black Hollow Road, unease crept into his chest. The moon was a sliver in the sky, and a thick fog rolled in, muting his headlights. The road was desolate, with gnarled trees lining both sides like silent sentinels. Then his radio crackled. Static hissed, punctuated by faint whispers. He frowned, glancing at the display. The station number flickered, as if caught in a loop. His hands tightened on the steering wheel. He was about to turn the radio off when he saw her. A girl stood in the middle of the road, her dress green and tattered, her hair hanging in dark, messy strands over her face. She didn't move. She didn't flinch. Ben slammed on the brakes, his car skidding to a stop mere feet from her. His heart raced as he fumbled with his seatbelt. He leaned out the window, the cold night air biting at his face. "Hey, are you okay?" His voice echoed into the fog. She didn't answer. Slowly, she raised her head. Her face was pale, her eyes large and hollow, black as pits. She tilted her head unnaturally, almost bird-like, then pointed at him with a skeletal finger. Ben's stomach dropped. She took a step forward. "Nope, no way," he muttered, slamming the car into reverse. But when he looked in the rear-view mirror, she was already there, standing behind the car, closer than before. His breath hitched. His hands fumbled on the gear shift as he tried to turn around, his pulse hammering in his ears. The girl didn't move. And then she smiled. It wasn't a child's smile. It was something feral, predatory. Ben floored the gas, the engine roaring as the car sped down the road. The fog grew thicker, swallowing the trees and everything around him. His headlights barely cut through the darkness. He didn't care where he was going. He just needed to get away. But then the car stuttered. The engine sputtered, coughed, and died. The headlights flickered before going out completely. "No, no, no," Ben growled, slamming his fist against the steering wheel. He fumbled for his phone, but it refused to turn on. The air inside the car was freezing now, each breath forming clouds of mist. Outside, the whispers returned. It started faint, like wind rustling through leaves. But it grew louder, circling the car, until it was a cacophony of voices. Too many voices, overlapping, speaking in a language he didn't understand. Ben's chest heaved as he locked the doors and stared into the darkness. The fog pressed against the windows like it was alive, writhing and pulsing. Then there was a knock. It was soft at first, coming from the driver's side window. Ben froze. The knock came again, louder this time. Slowly, he turned his head. She was there. Her face was inches from the glass, her eyes black voids, her mouth stretched into that same unnatural smile. Her hand pressed against the window, and cracks began to spiderweb across the glass. Ben scrambled out of the passenger door, sprinting into the woods without looking back. The forest was suffocating. The trees twisted unnaturally, their branches clawing at the sky. The whispers followed him, growing louder, accompanied by the faint sound of laughter, high-pitched and childlike. Ben tripped on a root, landing hard on the damp ground. Pain shot through his knee, but he scrambled to his feet, gasping for air. The laughter was closer now, coming from all directions. He saw her again, standing ahead of him, partially obscured by the trees. Her head tilted, her hands dangling limply at her sides. "Leave me alone!" Ben shouted, his voice cracking. The girl didn't move, but the shadows around her did. They writhed and stretched, twisting into grotesque shapes that slithered toward him. Ben turned and ran deeper into the forest, his lungs burning, his legs screaming in protest. The air grew colder, heavier, as if the forest itself were alive and pressing down on him. Then everything went silent. He stopped, chest heaving, his eyes darting around. The fog was gone. The trees were still. For a moment he thought it was over. Then he felt a hand on his shoulder. He spun around, but no one was there. The forest was empty, silent. His breath came in shallow gasps as he turned again and froze. She was there, inches away, her face twisted into something grotesque, her smile impossibly wide. Her hand reached out, brushing against his chest. Ben screamed. The world around him dissolved into darkness.